Hey Kimberbellas, Kristen Som here. Today's challenge, we are gonna do dessert stand witch cupcake. So one interesting thing is the dessert stand is the same one that we used yesterday for the dessert stand frog. So if you've already created a quilting design, you can use the same one for that. I'm going to do a different one. I'm going to do the new Wavy 3, I think it's called. I thought that'd be a fun one for this. So we're going to start with our fabric at 8.5 by 10.5, and as always, back it with fusible stabilizer and some batting. I think I cut mine to 7 by 9 for this. And then we need a couple of applique pieces, one for the cupcake and one for the liner. I do back these with stabilizer as well. I made a banner the other day and I did not use fusible stabilizer because I had felt with it and I thought it would be perfectly fine, and it puckered and it looked awful, and I redid them. So I'm a big believer in fusible stabilizer, but do what works for you. Some people think that when you have batting it helps, and it does help, but in my opinion not quite enough. And it also makes it easier to cut applique pieces without getting fabrics everywhere. So I'm a big believer, do what works for you. So on that one, on the dessert stand witch cupcake, like I said, we start with our fabric at 8.5 by 10.5, and then we're going to cut it to 6.5 by 8.5. So that means that we want a quilting design that is 6 by 8. And like I said, I'm going to use the brand new Wavy 3. I just thought that would be a fun one. So if you look through the comments from yesterday's post, Jackie decided not to do quilting under her jar, and that is a really cute idea. In fact, I did that and showed a tutorial on Love Notes when we did the jar of hearts. So there is a tutorial out there if you decide to do that. Basically, you either bring it into software and manually erase each of the quilting design that is under the jar. Or if you have one of those specialty machines, like I've got a Dream Machine 2, yay me, I'm so excited. If you have one of then you can use a design and pretty easily, it's on that tutorial, take out the quilting. The only thing is that you can only use a quilting design that is already embedded in your machine directly from the manufacturer. You cannot use one of the cute Kimberbell designs to do that. So anyway, if you decide you want to not have quilting under your jar, just look in the Love Notes tutorial for Jar of Hearts, and I have shown a couple ways of doing that. I'm not going to do it. I think it looks cute to have it. It looks like it's just behind the jar because it's not over the jar. The quilting is not over the jar, it's behind it. And so to me, it just looks like it's behind it, and it's all good. You do what works for you. Jackie's is super cute with her quilting not in the jar part. So that is an option. I wanted to point that out. So that's for dessert stand witch cupcake. The other one is dessert stand plate, and like I mentioned, it's the same one as we used yesterday for the dessert stand frog. It's the same file. So I'm going to redo mine because I'm using a different quilting design than I did yesterday. But you're going to start with your fabric at 6.5 by 8.5. Dessert stand plate. Let me see here. Sorry, 6.5 by 8.5. Good, I got it right. Start with your fabric, and as always, back it with fusible stabilizer. Get your batting. I think I cut mine to 5 by 7 for this. And your dessert stand fabric. So this is supposed to be the black and gray dot, and I didn't have any of that. It's been discontinued, I believe. So I'm using black with white dot. Use whatever you have. There's a cute herringbone, is that what it's called? Houndstooth. There's a cute fabric for that. There's also the one from Make Yourself at Home with the swirly lines. I don't know what you call it. And Boardwalk has a cute swirly line. There's several black and gray by Kimberbell fabrics. So if you want to use that, or black and white dot, whatever works. And so for that one, we're going to square it off to 6.5 by 4.5. So you want a quilting design that is 6x4. And as I mentioned, I'm going to use the Wavy 3. And don't forget your vinyl that's in your embellishment kit. And you'll need that for the jar top. And there's specific cut instructions on this, so I will do that through photos, and just let me know if you have any questions. So let's get started. By the way, I am going to the pumpkin patch today. I'm pretty excited. It's like record cold temperature here this weekend in Idaho, and hubby's finally taking me somewhere. It's so funny because I don't do super great in cold, but I am excited to go somewhere. So leave me a comment and tell me what fun thing you're doing this weekend other than you're working on Broomhilda. So anyway, have a great weekend and let's get started.